Hey there, if you're new to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in New Smyrna Beach, Florida and surrounding areas, you've come to the right place. My name is Matt Ekoff. I'm a local real estate expert and I'm here to share everything from the best neighborhoods to the hottest spots around town. Listen, we get phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether you want to move in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, reach out and give us a call. We'd love to help you move to the beach. Make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe, tap the bell, so you get all the notifications and everything there is to know about New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas. So today we're going to be doing a map tour of Ponce Inlet. Ponce Inlet is a small peninsula north of New Smyrna Beach, south of Daytona Beach, known as a big-time retirement community. In fact, 92% of the residents there own their homes outright. There's only 3,600 residents in all of Ponce Inlet, so it is very, very small, but it's a great little town, and I want to go through and do a map tour real quick. So let's hop right in. Okay, here we got the whole state of Florida. We're going to go over here first and just look at Ponce Inlet. It's our little town of Ponce Inlet. I wanted to go across the entire state. So in reference to Orlando, Ponce Inlet is about an hour and 20 minutes, depending on traffic. You're gonna be taking I-4 all the way up to where it ends in the 95, and then you're gonna be getting off 95, and you're gonna get off at Dunlawton, cross the bridge, and then you're in Ponce Inlet. Another way that you could come, if you're coming from all the way across the state, 44 starts in Crystal River. It's actually the only highway in the state of Florida that runs from all the way from west to east coast. So it comes all the way down here, all the way across, all the way up. And then you could either get off here and take US 1 down, or you could get off 95 and again, take Dunlawton. So I just wanted to show just in reference to Central Florida, Kennedy Space Center as well, which is right here. You can just see the tip of it, but just in reference to the entire state. So we're on the East Coast, considered the Space Coast. Orlando's here. Tampa is down in this area. I-4 is going to continue west and go down into Tampa. Let's go and look at a little bit closer map, though, of Ponce Inlet. Here's our major highways. So we just talked about I-4, which is right here and is going to take you all to all the attractions. It really is the main way that people are going to be coming in and out of the East Coast. You can take 44, but again, you need I-4 to get to 44 from anywhere in Central Florida. So I-4 is going to come down here. Probably the best way to come in for you if you're going to Ponce Inlet is I-4. Again, an alternate route. We were just talking about at 44, which goes from east to the west. And then you could come up here. And then this is Dunlawton, and Dunlawton is going to take you all the way over the bridge, where you can then get on A1A and pop into Ponce Inlet. So Ponce Inlet is known for its lighthouse. We did a prior video on it, so you should check that out. We spent some time in the lighthouse, went all the way up to the top. Second tallest lighthouse in the United States. It's the tallest in the state of Florida. It is right at the very, very, very end. So you have to come down. You have to come down A1A. And then there's a sign that takes you right here, and then it takes you kind of around, and it's a big museum tour and things like that. It's a really, really awesome place. I would highly suggest if you're coming in town to visit, or if you're coming in and thinking about staying there, it's a beacon. You can see it from a lot of different locations, and it's pretty awesome. And it's working when they do tours there, and they have a museum there. So it's a really great spot. So again, looking at the smaller map here, so we have I-4, we have 92 that comes in from DeLand. There's a small airport out in DeLand, so you have 92 that comes in over here. And then 95 is our major highway. This is I-95. Most people in the United States know I-95 if you live on the East Coast. It goes all the way from Miami all the way up to Maine and then into Canada. So it is one of our largest highways in the entire nation. So 95 is a big way. So again, if we're talking about Ponce Inlet, you can come up, you can get on Dunlawton and get 95, and you can get down to Miami in probably about 3 to 3.5 hours, again, depending on traffic and what day you're leaving to go down there. So, and then we have US 1, which travels all the way up and down the East Coast as well. This is a back road, and honestly, I would say anybody that lives in these areas, anybody that lives up in Daytona Beach, Ormond Beach, New Smyrna Beach, Ponce Inlet, Wilbur, Port Orange, Edgewater, we're taking US 1 most of the time rather than going up to the highway and getting on 95 and then going all the way up. Yes, 95 is a lot faster, but you have to go up and around everything. So you can go faster speeds on 95, but honestly, I don't think that you're going to get anywhere faster taking 95 than if you're taking US 1. If you live beachside or anywhere probably east of US 1. So US 1 is a big, busy road. Lots of shops, lots of commercial. There's an airport over here, New Smyrna Beach Airport, which is right here. So US 1's a big one, but there are stoplights. The busiest I think it gets is, or the highest speed that it gets is about 50 miles an hour. So, and again, there are a good amount of stoplights when you're going through the city. So US 1, and then of course we have Atlantic Avenue, A1A, that comes down. Okay, since we're talking about US 1, I want to talk about getting to Daytona Beach real quick, which is probably the major city for us in anywhere on the East Coast, in the Space Coast where we live, the cities that we cover. So Ponce Inlet, you're going to actually come up Atlantic Avenue, you're going to cross the Dunlawton Bridge, and then you're going to take that up US 1 to Daytona Beach. This is where all the attractions are. 92 runs under 95 and then turns into International Speedway. There's the Daytona Beach Airport here, which is fantastic, by the way. The airport from Ponce Inlet is about an hour and a half away, and if you've ever flown into Orlando Airport before, you know that it's a disaster. So it's, unless you're in the very new Terminal C, which is fantastic, if you're leaving out of A and B, it's horrendous. And with as much traffic as we have, because we're the vacation capital of the world, you got to get to TSA, to the back of the line, at least an hour and a half to 2 hours before your flight's going to leave. So if you're leaving out of Ponce Inlet and you got another hour and a half, and you got a flight that leaves at, let's say, 10 o'clock in the morning, work backwards, you have to leave your house by probably 6:30 in the morning just to make sure you get to the airport park and have enough time to get through TSA. Rather, you have Daytona Beach, which is a smaller airport, but it gets to almost every major city. Now, you might have to go through somewhere. For example, I used to live in Dallas, and I was commuting between Dallas and New Smyrna Beach for a while. I would go into Daytona Beach and I would fly to Charlotte, lay over for only 45 minutes, and then take that flight directly to Dallas. That was quicker than driving to Orlando, spending several hours there, and then making a direct flight from Orlando to DFW. So I just think about that and add up all the time, because Daytona Beach Airport is unbelievable. Now, it is by far the best airport that I've ever been in as far as speed. You can seriously get there 30 minutes before your flight's scheduled to take off, and you will be still waiting at your gate 15 minutes. I mean, it is, you walk inside, you go straight up the escalator, you go through TSA, which barely has anybody there. Every single time I've ever been there, dozens and dozens of times, there are more TSA agents than people waiting in line. You get right through, and then boom, you're there. Just a couple terminals. It's phenomenal airport. So if you can figure anything out, that's great. So figure an hour and a half drive to Orlando, and then a 2 hour, get there 2 hours before, compared to leaving 20 minutes before in Ponce Inlet to get to Daytona Beach. Absolutely 100% recommendation for you. And then of course you have the International Speedway, the Daytona Speedway. You have the Pepsi 400 there. You have the Daytona 500. There's a Buc-ee's. I know there's really, really big Buc-ee's fans here, or all around. There's a big Buc-ee's. There's a huge outlet mall that's right around this area too. So again, Port Orange is just a short drive to get over to Daytona Beach, and then there's some attractions and boardwalks and things like that. Doesn't really show up here in this map. So hopefully this helps cover this area. Let's go in and get a little bit closer to the city itself. So here we are on the smaller map looking at Ponce Inlet. So here's our little peninsula right here. This is where our 3,600 residents live, in this small area right here. So again, you're going to come off, if you're coming off US 1, Dunlawton is a really big bridge, really nice bridge. There's Aunt Catfish right here, which is a fantastic restaurant. There's not a lot of restaurants and bars and things like that in Ponce Inlet. That can be good or bad, of course. If you like nightlife, Ponce Inlet might not be the place for you, unless you just go up to Daytona Beach shores or a little bit north to Daytona Beach, which is perfectly fine. It's not a long drive, 20 minutes or so. But there is a small place right here called Down the Hatch, a cool little beach bar. It sits on the water. You can see dolphins here, manatees here, and intercoastal. There's Disappearing Island right over here, which you can see. So our lighthouse is right here, and then we have two marinas, because this is a big fishing town. A marina here and a marina here. I think this is the larger of the two, this one right here. But a lot of fishing. It's a great, great fishing town. You can see all the little canals and things like that. The Halifax River turns into the intercoastal right here, and then goes down and then goes right out into the ocean. So this is New Smyrna Beach. We did another video on New Smyrna, and we were in the inlet dunes. This is the inlet dunes. So there's a gap right here. It looks like it's swimming distance, but it's not, because of the tide coming in and the waves and the water coming in from the ocean. So this is a map tour. So we have Atlantic Avenue, which is the main in and out. You have Peninsula Avenue as well, which you can't really see on this map, but it runs about like right here, and it runs down. So A1A is going to go all the way up. It's going to go all the way to Daytona Beach shores. It's going to go all the way up to Daytona Beach. There are a lot of lights. It's only usually 30, 35 miles an hour, but there are a lot of attractions too. There's a ton of great surf shops. There's places to get tattoos. There's putt-putt golf. There's a ton of putt-putt golf between Ponce Inlet and Daytona Beach. I mean, there's probably at least 5 or 6 places. Ice cream places too, you're gonna see all over. Pizza, I don't know why pizza is a big deal at the beach, but every beach town I've ever been to, there's just a ton of pizza places. So all up and down A1A, that's what you're gonna find. Again, Dunlawton's a really, really huge bridge. And then our A1A here doesn't actually, it ends into Ponce Inlet and then restarts in New Smyrna, because obviously you have the intracoastal going out to the ocean, so it doesn't continue. There is no bridge here, so although it looks like it's right next door, I live in New Smyrna. Going over to Ponce Inlet takes me 30 minutes. Even though it's right here, it's that drive all the way around. It's getting on US 1 and then going up US 1, which is here, which again is the big US 1 here, which is the big road, and then going over Dunlawton Bridge. So I hope this helps. Ponce Inlet's not a big place, so there's not a lot of places to get in and out. And because you're on the East Coast, you're all the way as far as you can, it ends in the Atlantic. I have half a map that I wouldn't have to worry about that other people would have to worry about, since their city probably is surrounded by land. Ours isn't. So Ponce Inlet is a small place. There's only a couple ways to get in there. It's pretty convenient. It's very, very, very low traffic, which is awesome. And hopefully you saw some of the ins and outs. If I missed anything, whether you're a local and you saw something that I missed, you're like, Matt, goodness gracious, you didn't talk about this, let me know in the comments below. If you have a question or you're thinking about moving to Ponce Inlet, let me know also. DM me. You can set up a Zoom time. You can call me. You can email me. You can text message. We can set something up and we can talk about Ponce Inlet and all the great things there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and we'll see you next time. Thanks.